Hi, Pisces, and Happy New Year. Yay! Finally, right? However, 2025 breaks down to a 9, which is more endings, more illumination, where 9 represents light workers. So those of us light workers will be shedding a lot more light for others to see, not necessarily follow, but to see, right? There will be a lot more exposed in the coming year, and hopefully not shocking, but very true, so that Mother Earth can rid herself of so much of what she's been, what we ingest, we inhale, all of that, so that we can rise up and become more aware and not live in fear. Okay, I'm doing the monthlies, the end of the year monthly, just a smidge different. I'll show you when we get to it, which is after I do this. Let's find your karmic thread that ties Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus. What is the karmic thread that you're working on from another lifetime? Oh, finances, right? Saving. I know, right? We don't like that word. All right, saving, investing, making money, retirement, the value, finding the era of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, is about changing the complete way that we see things that we value, right? The American dream, so to speak, right, has completely changed. It's not the same. Therefore, because it's not the same, we come to change our perspective, or need to change our perspective, shall we say, in the coming years. And we have been, in order to grow and to find extraordinary in the ordinary, and not to see it as we know it, being subjected to the lies that we have, that society placed on us since the beginning of time, but to rise up from that and value other things in our lives, such as ourselves, and the value that we place on others, or that they show us their value. You know, it's a two-way street, right? And to understand that that value comes with a shoulder to lean on, someone to talk to, a phone call, a text message, an old friend reaching out. I mean, those things are what the coming trajectory is changing. The narrative is changing of our world, our society, for those on path. So finances is part of that, because we've been brought up, which is in the Western culture, to believe that money has this power when it's paper. Do you see what I'm saying? Who has the power? Okay, so how I'm changing this is, for just the end of year, is to do 3 cards for 2024 and 3 cards for 2025. What have we learned, taken accountability for, responsibility for, moving out from 2024 into 2025? And if we are working on something that is going to take us into the next year, then so be it. I mean, you got to just go with the flow, whatever that means to each one of our situations, right? So let's see what that means for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus. All right, 2024 for Pisces. Shit. You're like, shit, oh, wow. okay? Wow. Who do you believe? Who do you believe? What do you believe? And are we judging others? Like, I felt like it's not like you're verbally judging others, but you internalize judging others. I feel like sometimes, Pisces, if someone's not smart enough, you judge them from not being smart enough. Or, why did you do it that way when you should have done it that way? You know what I mean? Do we judge others and internalize that? And of course, have you been listening to a lot of bullshit over this past year, right? And questioning your faith in them and their faith in you. I don't know why I just heard China Ball. Seeing that Sandra Bullock movie with Melissa McCarthy. What was that movie? I love that movie. China Ball. You know, you gotta like write to me. I can't remember the name of it now, and I love that movie with Sandra Bullock and McCartney. It's a detective movie, but you know, she's Bullock's FBI agent and Melissa's a cop, and it's the blonde that says "get the fuck out." Anyway, okay, something about that is what you're dealing with. Some part of that movie. All right, I don't know. Let's just see. All right, so what's going to happen here for 2025? Oh, I love that. Thank God the Nine of Pentacles came out. I am not kidding you. I'm really not. Because you guys, over this year, your reads, Pisces, have been to be the extraordinary financial helper, if you will, for others. You know, you have, some of you have kids that, you know, this plays very deeply into your karmic thread, because you're needing, or have been asked by spirit, I should say, over the course of the year to become more tough love. Zeusy, go sit down. Some of you are needing to tell your doggy to go sit down, or wanting a doggy. All right, so this is, what do I trust? Who do I trust? What they're saying? Do I trust what they're saying? Am I changing the way that I believe in the things that I was taught to believe? And now my whole system of beliefs is completely changing. Some of you have been very judgmental, internalizing that, and wanting to change that part of you and to become better by saying, okay, well, you know, that's probably judgment. The only person to judge is God, right? That's, you know, that's a given. But it's interesting because it's not about God's judgment upon us as much as it is the way we judge ourselves for the errors of our own doing. Okay? So some of you, this is about the way you think, and or the people that you've been hanging with, and what you are trying to figure out about, you know, where they come from, how do they think the way they think. You know, you have been asking yourself about, you know, people that are near and dear to your heart. You know, you're helping some find God and not be so judgmental and also for you. And it's not really judgmental as, you know, I mean, sometimes we say offhanded comments that we don't realize, you know, they don't just affect others, they affect us too. So sometimes we need to know that staying in our own lanes is the best way. Your faith has been tested without question in many aspects of that being your faith. Who to believe, what to believe. There's so many, you know, those conspiracy theories out there. And then you have your, you know, your close circle of friends and family telling you something else. Do you know what I mean? It's almost as though you've been kind of wanting that stamp of approval, knowing that you're following the way of God. It's not that we don't, but if we do happen to say an offhanded comment about others, right, or even ourselves, when we make offhanded comments about others and ourselves, that's an impression upon us. So, and if it is external stuff, bullshit from people trying to scam you, you know, trying to give you a song and a dance why they need money, which you've been dealing with, no kidding, hello. You have been dealing with people who are trying to take advantage of you financially. That's without a question. Hanging on your coattails. Maybe you've been very, you know, emphatic, very compassionate and loving, but Spirit's like, okay, well, maybe not judging, but being more tough love, you know, if that's the case. And not feeling as though, you know, your whole entire, which is the situation in 2025 for you, is I don't want to feel like I can't, you know, the world is turning upside down because I can't make the payments, or they're not going to pay me the money back. Most of you already know if you lent anyone money, you're not going to see that money again. And that's not for judging or judgment. It's for you to learn tough love and let, you know, it's your lesson. And let that be your lesson. So you are going to be financially independent in 2025. You are getting a lot of help from the universe, absolutely, right? And you're going to be smarter. I'm not saying you haven't been smart, but if you're lending money or if you've given money to your kids constantly and not showing them they have to stand on their own 2 feet, then yeah, you have to, that's part of what you're learning or you've learned in 2024. Tough love, you know, telling your kids you guys have to like stand on your own 2 feet now, you know, that kind of thing. And if it's not about that, it's about feeling in 2025, it's more like, okay, I need to change how I feel about others who have less than I do. Maybe you're changing that perspective of, you know, the world's under siege, and who am I to do anything else but pray for these others, pray for these people, and even my family members. I feel like you're really looking ahead at, if you have kids especially, or grandkids, you're like, okay, so what are these kids going to do without Social Security? How are they going to survive? I feel like you're looking at this from a bird's eye view, which is really, really great that you are. Because this part of you that you have been giving so much of yourself, right, over this past year, giving so much of yourself to where you just, I mean, some of you gave so much just out of guilt, out of anger, out of, you know, well, having a good heart, but also knowing that you were being taken advantage of, right? And not wanting to internalize it, the feeling of, you know, learning tough love and not internalizing any remorse or ill will, and putting yourself, honestly, putting yourself in others' shoes is what this is about. Okay, so let's just get a little more intense here with that Seven of Swords, the Judgment, and the Faith card, because you are changing. Some of you literally changed your faith. I'm going to take these because they just flew out. See? Oh my God, look at this. Oh my God. And what is this? Yes. Five of Swords is reversed. The Nine of Cups. The Six of Pentacles reversed. And the Hierophant. I mean, come on. This is the same thing. It's not wanting any longer to fight against or go against the grain. Let me just move these here. You don't want to go against the grain. You don't want to have internal struggles. And, you know, it's kind of like saying so-and-so's, you know, so-and-so isn't, you know, is a shit because I've been there how many times and, you know, they're still not wanting to pay me back, or they don't care. You know what I mean? Or someone doesn't want to go get a job, you know, and they're not putting in their efforts. The effort. It's about effort, and you are all about effort. And that's what you've been fighting against yourself, you know? So Spirit, you have found yourself in a place where you're asking, or Spirit, God is asking for you to have more faith in others' situations, you know, and not necessarily, okay, so there are people who need to go look for a job and haven't, and they need to be on their own and they haven't been, right? I mean, someone's on their own, but they feel like you've been pulling them along. You know, someone's like hanging on your coattails, right? And it is financial. Hello, these are pentacles. Someone's been hanging on your coattails, and you have consistently, Pisces, asked someone to go look for a job, and, you know, you'll feel better about yourself. Someone also doesn't feel good, and it states it right here. When we don't have a purpose to give to ourselves and or to serve others, that's part of the whole overall 2024 into 5 is all about what we just said in here with this card. You're changing the way that you value others just because maybe they're less, have less than, had a rougher life, when there's been an internal judgment going on in the past that Spirit now has shown you the way forward to not necessarily, to not, you know, when people come to you to tell you their story, I know it's a trigger. It's a trigger. But now, instead of it triggering you to the point where you may internalize and say something offhand or be rude or comment to yourself or to another, a third party or a family member, that you're just like, so-and-so did this again, oh my God. Now you're putting yourself in their shoes. And you're realizing that plays a huge role in the way that you are following, or you haven't been, you're now understanding that following spirit, following the path and being on path requires us not, it requires us to see that others are hurting, and that others may have reasons that we don't realize. And some of you are dealing with others who are depressed and alone. Like you may have like an older, where's that Nine of Cups? Yeah, here, right? Yeah. You may have like an older son living with you, right, in your house. And you just want them to get out and get a job, just because, not for just the financial part of it, but like you just want them to have like new life. You want to see them light up and maybe meet peers and coworkers that they can go out and do stuff with. And as much of your maybe so-called bitching may sound like bitching, you're really trying to help someone, and in turn help yourself, because you're feeling that burden. This is someone who's got a burden, but you're almost guilty because you feel that burden upon yourself. So this faith you have had, and you have it twice, because you have had to put yourself literally in the eyes of the beholder in order to see a little more clearly how others are not as fortunate, and could be feeling that it's not, if it's just one person, Pisces, in the world that is depressed. Let's just use that as an example. One child that's depressed, and I mean an adult child, right? Because we're all children of God. One child that's depressed, that means an entire universe of how many could possibly be feeling the same way as that one. One light lights the world. One light lights someone's world. And that's where your faith is coming into helping others, instead of perhaps, as you have in the past, maybe just, you didn't realize that you would have an offhanded comment. Why do they have to be so stupid? Or why do they have to be so needy? Or why can't they get a job? All of those comments that we think to ourselves become really real in the fact that you finally realize that someone is really asking for your help. Does that make sense? And even if it's someone that really should be on their own or move out. Some of you will be selling or moving out. Maybe some of you are getting divorced. Others of you are getting divorced, and you're finding it very difficult not to be judgy about the ex. Maybe you're the masculine Pisces that's walking away. Some of you are walking out from one religion to searching for another. Just in search of your truth. I shouldn't say religion, but yeah. Some of you are not yet ready to make any moves, like physical moves or anything like that, okay? You have to wait. You have to wait. Spirit's saying 2024, even if you walked away from, a relationship or a marriage or whatever, a live-in, you're not ready to jump into anything. You may never be ready. You could be a widower. Oh, look at what I just said. My God. You could be a widower. A widow, whatever. Okay? And that is harboring some also. Your triggers have been very obvious over the course of this year to where you needed and you knew that you needed to make a change. But some of you need to get some healing. Maybe the church will help you if you're in a church or you're in a community where your faith or your service to others, whatever, is going to help you to release some of that pain, because some of you are missing a significant other. A father figure, a husband, and you have been carrying it in secret, right? That, not secret as in bad, just you're suffering in silence. So maybe the depression is somewhat seeing others depressed in your family or your near and dear circle of friends, you know. Like when you're looking at, let's just say you have your kids or whomever, or sisters, siblings, whatever, and you look at them and stuff just triggers you, your kids, whatever, things trigger you. What they say, how they say it, what they believe, what they don't. Who has a job, who doesn't? Those things have been triggering you because the true the true essence of your pain is the loss that you had to suffer of a loved one, a father figure, a husband, whatever. And you are now becoming more in tune with your spirituality and or religion. We are one, so whatever you want to call it. Okay? So you've been working on yourself this year, big time, because you've realized, whoever I'm talking to, this inner critic, the triggers, what you said, you don't realize it, but you're really the one that's hurting or has been hurting. All right, now, the Five of Pentacles is for Pisces. Yeah, asking Spirit for strength. That's what you're working on in 2025. And also asking Spirit to gift you with a future of prosperity and abundance in whatever way that it is to be. So maybe you find comfort. Maybe money comes to you that you didn't realize was coming, or you finally get money that is coming in, maybe from a property, at a distance. Maybe some of you could have ended a job and you're just praying that you can survive. Yeah. It's brought you a little down. Wow. You're going to be tested financially. That's where this is. You're going to be tested. So Spirit is saying to those people who helped financially, giving money, loaning money, whatever, to others, and not being able to balance that out and still be like, oh my God, I caved again. Spirit's they're saying, this is your challenge in 2025. Why you're dealing with it is because it's coming in from another lifetime. It is the thread. Part of your loss is you feel guilty, that maybe you feel guilty for some of you Pisceans, you feel guilty for others' misfortunes, and you want to be that light for others. But, you can't save others, and others cannot save you. The Devil, please, for Pisces. Wow. Oh my God, look. So you're going to be tested to have that inner critic come out again. Like, she's stupid, or, oh my God, they want money again, or I can't make it on my own, or Oh my God. What is, and for some of you, it's really at face value. What is there a hell? Some of you are questioning what hell really means to you when you lose the one that you've loved. You're not asking that did someone make it to, no, you're not. But you are asking yourself. Because you want to ensure that you're not going to go to hell for, those times when you couldn't have the tough love. Because you've always been and will always be the one who gives of yourself, much like a Libra. Maybe not thinking about, making the decision because love overrides, and the reason why you do it is because of the loss that you've had to suffer. And now a lot of you, 2024 and 2025, is lighting up your beliefs and making changes necessary to move forward. But you really do have to heal from the loss, whatever loss. Because I feel that a lot of you this is the judgment within. If you did lose a husband or what have you, a father your kids, right? You're internalizing that it's not fair. You're like, well, this wasn't fair. I lost my husband, and they're in relationships and don't even appreciate their husbands. But the question is, Pisces, did you appreciate your husband? That's just an example of how this is threaded together of triggers that really do bother you. Losing someone triggers us while others have their fathers, say, and or husbands, and they bitch every day. And that could be the inner critic in you that says, oh God, I can't believe you don't do, you don't spend New Year's Eve together. Who would not want to spend New Year's Eve with their spouse? And when, let's just say, if this is a husband, Pisces, that you lost, then, or a father, you're saying, yeah, when I had them here, or when they were here, not had them here, but when they were here physically, did you appreciate it? So you're questioning the ways of the world. You're questioning exactly what we have here to what we have here. The value of what you believe in. Your inner critic. Small little offhanded comments that you make to yourself or to others. You are going to change. Your whole world is changing. Because Spirit wants you to heal that part of yourself that values, perhaps for some, valuing and loving people, your kids or whatever, to the greatest length of, I would go to hell for my kids, right? What dreams may come, or or a spouse, but at what cost? So Spirit's asking you to place values on yourself, more importantly, as not external and what you give. It is that lending a helping hand. It is that conversation. It is that, oh my God, I can't go out with my friends because my child needs me home. That's what it's about. It's your children make you happy, no matter how many you have. Your children are your light. And that gives you peace. Even though it has given you peace to some degree, financially helping. I don't know why I keep doing this. It's bugging me. Sorry. Do you know what I mean? Even though it gives you peace knowing that you can help. Now the question is, or what you're dealing with is, that's not helping them. So whether you know it or not, that is really hard for you. Mentally, very difficult for you not to cave and give in. And give in. Some of you are dealing with a Leo, Aries, Sag that doesn't know, maybe it's a child, I don't know, an older child, or it could be a brother-in-law. It's a masculine. Could be a brother-in-law married to your daughter or something like that, where one of the issues that you're dealing with is they're going through it right now. Yeah. Someone got cut out of the equation and they feel like they're lost. Yeah. And you're there to help, right? You're there to talk it out, to help them get through it. But, you know, this person, Spirit saying, ask Spirit for help. So there's an issue with maybe your grandchildren, your child, who's going through a very bit, like a huge rough patch of, you know, kind of being lost at sea. Someone's lost at sea. Mentally, they're not, you know, 100%. And maybe it's time for some prayer, praying for others. Yeah, lost at sea, seriously. And I feel that someone's reaching out, Pisces, to you. Yeah, they want you to help them start over again. So in 2025, that's going to be your going to help others in service to others. And that is your purpose. And it is all of our purposes, is to serve others. And to realize, like I said, that the trajectory of what we have learned over the course of our lifetimes and the lifetimes and those before us, being lied to and being told certain things that were, you know, just crap, was bullshit. It's now the uncovering of all that, and it is going to continue in 2025 and onward until all the crap of a Seven of Swords gets unraveled, exposed, and we need to remain in the highest, most faith. And that's what we're called to do. And it's not just you, Pisces. You're starting it. You're the one that's starting the trajectory of, wow, you and others. I shouldn't say just Pisces, because a lot of signs did get, you know, it is about our faith over what we fear the most, the worst case scenarios and all of that. So this helping this person, your kid or someone very near and dear to you, helping them get through this is also clearing out your child wounds and the wounds of a loss, potentially of a father figure, a husband, whatever. There it is. You are healing. And this is going to help you. And that's why Spirit said, take one more card. You are healing your childhood wounds by helping others and needing to have tough love in order to find that peace. The geese in the star, I don't think many of you may, or I've never heard readers, but the geese is about community, and that's our family. Okay? Okay. So, we're going to get through this. That's why I do my weeklies. Faith over fear, guys. And this is what has happened. Worth waiting for. You are with someone right now, or the person that you lost is an angel, is your spirit guide. And I'm going to tell you that many of you, you can't ask for that. If you ask to be with your loved one on the other side, be that a spouse or what have you, you add years to that, my mom said. You add an extra year, because it's not our choice, it's God's. But worth waiting for, you did find someone that was definitely worth waiting for. If you're not already paired up with someone, if you're not paired up, you may meet someone worth waiting for. Give yourself a relationship a chance. So some of you are feeling as though your spouse, if they're here or on the other side, helping you is still helping you, whether they're on the earth plane or in heaven. As you can see, as above, so below. Someone is helping you. They're helping you to heal. If you are divorced, or that is not a death, it's a divorce or what have you, then someone says, Spirit is saying, I shouldn't say someone, Spirit's saying you should hear them out. And this was a soulmate, and this is a soulmate. Do you get what I'm saying? The person's not gone. They're right next to you. If you are a widow, the person, or a widower, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just because someone's out of their physical body doesn't mean they're not next to you helping you, and they are. So this soulmate taught you a lot, has taught you a lot, and is still teaching you by helping you to heal and gain more strength being independent. Because I feel some of you really relied, which is another unfortunate detriment for sometimes, not always, is to give all your power over to someone else. And then, God forbid, something happens, then how do I go on? Nowadays, that's not the issue, because most women have become more independent maybe than they want to be, but hey, it happens. You know what I mean? Okay. Wow. Karma. So your DNA, this is your card because you're the 12th sign. So you are very aware of how karma works, the give and take, and also your heritage, and how the threads of what triggers you, what angers you, all of these need to be healed. These are your wounds. They're going to be healed. And you also realize that some of it comes not just from the karma that's owed and whatever, it's also good karma too. And then there's ceremony, invocation. So some of you are going to help pray. Maybe some of you are lighting candles for someone who's in need. Maybe lighting candles for the loved ones that you've lost. But the bottom line is, Pisces, you are instrumental. Your faith is instrumental in this upcoming year. faith in yourself, being independent, having tough love, making smart decisions, valuing others, knowing that what you're healing is truly karmic situations that are healing your childhood wounds as well. Lighting candles, going back to church, praying. We pray. That's your song. I just decided Pisces gets a song because no one else did. Because I really do love you guys. I love everyone, really. Okay. Your Bible verse is Psalm 9:1. I will give thanks to you, Lord, with all my heart. I will tell of all your wonderful deeds. You're finding your faith, and it is stronger than ever. Wow. I love you guys. All right. Have a great month. I'm here for you. Take care.